We're back again, dear viewers. So, in a world where ideas turn into billion-dollar businesses overnight and where uncertainty has become the new normal, entrepreneurs and businesses leaders rewrite the rules of success. From bold startups to global corporations, the challenges are universal. How do you build and scale a business in a competitive market? How do you launch products that truly capture attention? And in an age where artificial intelligence and automation are transforming industries, how do we balance innovation with the human touch? We will know all about it today, dear viewers, with our guest. Khaled Alzanki is a business strategic author and the founder of AziadiQ8, a consulting firm and innovation lab helping entrepreneurs and organizations launch, scale, and automate with clarity. With over 20 years of experience, he is known for creating powerful business frameworks and tools, including AziadiQ8, an AI-powered advisor designed to simplify growth and decision making. So let's all welcome our guest, Khaled Alzanki. Good morning.
We're very
glad to have you here, and good morning.
Thank you so much for having me.
Indeed.
Looking forward to amazing interview.
Of course. Starting off, as we've heard, a lot of startups tend to fail in the first 5 years. So what do you think is the biggest misconception that lead to the entrepreneurship failures?
Okay. Well, I believe the biggest misconception today with entrepreneurship, entrepreneurs think it's all about ideas. And the idea is the maker or the breaker. Unfortunately, entrepreneurship is about clarity and execution and plan. So you need to have a clear idea about what are you introducing and launching to the market, and actually working into a very specific plan and launching it successfully and making sure you have the right team to execute in order to have a successful business. So with that in mind, that's the reason why people, they fail in business. They think it's all about the idea. They skip the validation sometimes. They think the idea is the maker to the business.
Indeed, Mr. Khaled, you've mentioned something I do believe is really important, which is success. So in your opinion, how do you view success or define success as an entrepreneur, including, profit, resilience, and resilience? Yeah.
Awesome. Well, personally, I think success is about building, I would say it's the clarity that leads to results. So in order to be successful in business, whether your outcome is legacy, profit, or massive success, that's what you focus on the most as an entrepreneur. Unfortunately, entrepreneurs today, even resilient entrepreneurs, they put their energy as much as possible into the idea and execution, and actually they get burned out through the process of launching or executing their businesses. So success for me is basically building systems that generate revenues and transform people's lives or customer lives, and on top of that, it allowed the entrepreneur to run a successful business with a bit of peace of mind, not rather than being really burned out through the process of executing or launching their businesses.
Yes, indeed. I think what you've mentioned is very crucial, and that's why we wanted to know, when should an entrepreneur actually pivot their idea, and when should they double down?
Oh, wow, that's an amazing question. I believe when the market is telling you that the value of the idea or the business isn't landing, which means the market doesn't get the value out of your business, here where the point you pivot your idea. You think, you know what, the market is not getting the idea, it's not working, where actually you work so hard in pivoting and changing the idea, even if you are emotionally attached to the idea. That's one. You double down when you see an opportunity or you see attraction from the market. And when you see opportunity and the customer saying, oh, wow, this is what we like, here where you double down into your execution. Even though sometimes we double down on things that we didn't consider that it would work with entrepreneurs and businesses. Here where actually, you know what, we never thought that would be successful. This is what we actually gonna focus on the most. We're going to write a plan, execute it right, and do our best, and we double down when it comes to resources or emotional involvement as well. So that's the best way to think where to pivot in the ideas or businesses most of the time.
Indeed, actually, and you know, if we were to speak today is a very fast-paced world life. Everything, you know, moves very quick. So what do you think for an entrepreneur? Is it most important for them to actually be visionaries or problem solvers?
Wow. I think both.
Yes.
I think both. Most of the entrepreneurs, they must have a vision to know where they are heading. That's number one. Second, when we talk about problem solving, is where it gets you from point A to point B.
Yes.
So if you are just focusing in building a problem solving solution without knowing where are you heading, that's a problem, a challenge. So I believe it's combination between both. And this is how you get results. Here where you build systems and measure the success and say, you know what, yeah, we are heading in the right direction, or maybe we change the direction based on the market feedback. So I'm not a fan of saying, no, leaders must be visionary only or problem solving only. So I think they come hand in hand together in order to have successful business.
Yes, to have actually both of the characteristics to, you know, manage it. So if we were to speak, you know, about what is your hardest challenge that you've been through when it comes to business, where you had to work, you know, under pressure.
Wow. We, as an entrepreneurs, we always work under pressure.
Yes.
People, they think it's a red carpet kind of opportunity or journey. For me, the biggest challenge when I have a launch of a product or service to the market and I believed in it 100%, and at the same time I have to pull off the plug and say, you know, that's not going to work. Okay. Yes. Not because I don't believe in the idea or the idea is not successful, but it could be the market is not ready yet for that idea. So I will double down and say, you know what, it's not the right time for the idea. I will actually push it down on the desk. I said, this is a great idea for maybe another time, not today. And I have been through a lot of situations in business where we say, you know, if we go with this launch, I believe we're going to fail. I'd rather not to pursue the launch, even I believed in it 100%, but the timing is not right for it right now. So this is usually the challenge for me when it comes to business.
Of course, being, you know, not the right time and probably, you know, postponing it to another time which might be better for this chance. So if we were to speak about long-term and short-term, so how do you balance or manage the long-term strategy with the short-term, you know, survival?
Well, for me and most of the entrepreneurs, we do have systems where this system works into short-term and building maybe recurring revenue to the business for today, and building an IP-driven assets for the business, whether it's a product-based or a service-based, that would keep the momentum going for the business in the long term. So it's not just randomized things. We always, as an entrepreneur, say, okay, this is my long vision. This is where I'm heading. At the same time, I need to think of today, well, short term, let's say 6 months from now, a year from now, how can I sustain and scale my business and grow my business to the next level? This is usually the biggest dilemma that most entrepreneurs they face in business. They think, most of the people not into entrepreneurship, they think it's fancy, it's fun, you're being your own boss, you're working on your own timing. They don't know there is a lot of things that's happening at the same time where we have to inject energy and time in order to balance between our long-term vision that sometimes people, they don't believe in.
That's true. You know, I couldn't agree more on what you've said. It is actually very true. And if we were to speak about, you know, the most underrated element of a successful product launch, what would you say?
I would say pre-launch. A lot of businesses, they focus on the launch day. They focus on when we're gonna introduce the products to the marketplace. They don't double down into a pre-launch, because if you spend time and energy where you put clarity exactly how the launch is going to happen, you prepare yourself, you prepare your team, you prepare all the channels, all the resources that you want to actually make sure you launch successfully in the marketplace. Here where actually entrepreneurs, they undervalue the pre-launch and the preparation actually for the pre-launch. I usually say for the launching sequence, we do have something called the pre-launch, where actually you prepare for the launch way ahead in advance. It's not a month, maybe 3 months or 6 months ahead of the launch day, to make sure that you are ready for the big reveal of your product and your services. And this is the challenge. That's the reason why we see a lot of entrepreneurs, they fail when they launch their business. They spend time and energy in trying to perfect the business and the product and everything else. And when it comes to marketing, they keep it towards almost the end.
Yes. Whereas you've mentioned actually the most important part is putting, your efforts in this correct marketing for your product. So, Mr. Khaled, we've talked recently about how this world is being very fast and moving in a very fast pace. So, when we talk about this, we come to the, to speak about AI. So, AI nowadays, it's all over the place. Everyone is using AI. And we would like to know if you see it as a threat or as an opportunity for entrepreneurships.
Well, I see it as a massive opportunity. I see a lot of entrepreneurs nowadays using the AI to really help them through the process. Well, AI is a tool where it helps you to regenerate or recreate the knowledge that you need. But still, AI would never substitute intuition with entrepreneurs, and they would never substitute creativity and sometimes strategy. So AI is considered, or most of the successful entrepreneurs, they consider it as a co-pilot. You are the pilot, you are the captain of the plane, and your co-pilot is AI. If you consider AI this way as a co-pilot, you will be very successful in the way you launch and you operate and you run your business. And I have seen a lot of entrepreneurs recently. I met an entrepreneur, he said, you know what? I've developed so many different agents in my business, and these agents are helping me to do things, and it's helping me to save time. And one of them, he said, one day I was thinking of an idea and I wanted to implement it while I'm walking, and I talked to the AI prepared the idea, a great brief about it, send it to the email. When I'm back to the office, I have that idea already waiting for me to really brainstorm it and take it to the next level. So if you think of AI as an opportunity, if you think about it as a co-pilot, most probably it's going to be an asset that you would rely on most of the time.
Of course, and it would work, as you mentioned. I'm sure it has saved this person a lot of time, as reaching the office and then starting to brainstorm the idea.
I'll give you an idea. We worked with an entrepreneur because most of the time we work in clarifying the messaging for the entrepreneurs to launch their businesses and make sure that it's the right message to the market. We worked in the similar framework to help that entrepreneur to launch successfully and the create clear message. And usually this exercise with entrepreneurs would take around 10 days to 12 days to make sure we landed the right message. With AI, we gave the AI the same briefing that we had from the meeting with the client. And actually walking through the process with AI, we were able to actually reach the results that we reached. In almost 7 to 10 minutes by just having conversation with AI and making sure we are actually giving the AI the right information in that direction. So we reached almost 85% of the results that we been working on for 12 days.
Actually amazing and interesting at the same time, seeing what AI can do, saving up 12 days to 7 or 10 minutes. I do believe this is really amazing. And from here we would like to thank you, Mr. Khaled, for being here with us in Good Morning Kuwait and sharing all of your valuable insights.
Thank you so much for having me. I wish we had the great value through our conversation today.
Indeed. So with that, dear viewers, all thanks and appreciation to our guest Khaled Alzanki, launch as strategic marketing expert. So with that, we'll go ahead on a short break and we will be right back.